Welcome back to the Legs Feed the Wolf podcast. I'm Christian.
I'm Tyler, and today we have our second guest. Her name is Arla Davis.
Our
She's
friend
a good friend
Arla
of
Davis.
ours.
Little introduction about Arla. Arla played basketball, field hockey, track, and powerlifting for Abington Heights High School.
Arla was the MVP of her 2018 WVC Senior All-Star Classic.
As a senior, she was named the 2009 Best Female High School Athlete by Abington Heights Journal.
She was the LIAA Scholar Athlete Honors in 2019. And Arla right now is a sports media major at Ithaca College.
Doing a podcast with us.
Yeah.
So the first thing we like to talk about with our guests is how you met us in the story. Just your first impressions of us. What you thought?
Sounds good. So Tyler, not gonna lie, I don't totally remember the very first moment we met, but I know it's through like Christian and Aiden.
So
and those
I remember
guys.
the first time we met. It was at the library, and we were studying for journalism. And Arla came by, and this was before fall break. And I don't know why I just remember this so well. And we were talking, Tyler and Arla, and she was like, I'm not going home for fall break. What's going to be home? I just remember her saying that. But, I got, a very tough vibe from Arla,
Yeah,
she's
definitely, I've known Arla for, a semester
and
a half almost. And she's definitely, one of the tougher girls I know, except when it comes for dogs and chickens. She always talks about how she's a farm girl and how much... they have
but
chickens
it turns
out,
a chicken comes running her way.
But
she
all this
will
talk
run faster than that chicken.
She apparently hates her chickens.
I don't hate my chickens, but they do freak me out a little bit. I'll give my sister the credit. She's the chicken whisperer.
Your sister's the chicken whisperer?
Oh, definitely. My dad's definitely got a soft spot for chickens too, but definitely my mom and my sister are the closest with them, I'd say.
Yeah.
So what was your two first time meeting?
Oh, I very specifically remember the first time, not necessarily meeting Christian, but seeing Christian. So there's 3 teams in the A&E. It's field hockey, soccer, and women's soccer. And I didn't know Christian at all, but my whole team had finished the beep test. And
the beep test is just a running drill that all sports teams have to do.
Yeah, I did it in high school, my freshman year of high school in gym class. It's just like a fitness test kind of thing to check your endurance and I guess your speed too. And so my team had finished up before the men's soccer team finished, and we walked over to the other side of the gym. And the A&E is huge. It's an indoor track, so we walked to the other side of the track to cheer on the rest of the soccer guys that are still going. And I'm standing pretty close to the coach who's, marking off the numbers of what round the guys are still running and what they're on. And the entire men's soccer team has no shirt on at this point, and they just look like a bunch of jerkwads, essentially, from my point of view, at least. And here's Christian running the beep test still, and he comes back from, round, 18 or 19, which is very impressive, but also, not nearly as, he's not done yet. Still going, still has a lot of energy left. And he looks at the coach, and he's like, "Oh, coach, what am I at now? What am I at now?" And I was like,
I did not say it like
yes,
that.
Yes, you did.
I did not say it like that.
You 100% said it like that.
I didn't say. I'm running and I ask, "Coach, what am I at?" I was curious. I didn't know. I wasn't paying. I don't pay attention to it. I just run.
Okay, but
I run until they say stop. I'm the one of those guys.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so he says it to the coach, and I was like, "Wow, this guy's real jerk. He must be an upperclassman or something, talking to the coach like that." Comes to find out that the first day of orientation, we go to meet in our majors, and here comes Christian walking through the door, and I was like, oh man, not this kid.
Why don't you tell them about when Christian was trying to get hyped up while running?
Hyped up while running?
Christian, from my understanding of the story, Christian would always tell the people that we're done.
Oh, that I would do. Because we had people count for us. Mm-hmm. When we were doing it, and the person before me was like, "Yeah, hype me up when I do it." It's all right. I don't really yell when people are running and stuff, but when I'm running, I always have to talk. I always have to say things. I don't know why, but I was telling the person, I was like, "Hey, just tell me I can't do it." When I was running, I kept saying, "Yeah, hey, bro, tell me I can't do it. Tell me I can't do another one," and you know what? I did another one.
Oh my god. So if I heard that, I probably wouldn't have changed my impression at all. But here we are now. We're best friends. So
yeah, yeah. No, because I like to talk when I run. I'm just one of I keeps my mind off it. But I don't think I was being cocky about it.
No,
I think
but
I was
I'm just I'm the kind of person that, like, doesn't like to talk to anyone at all. So then I looked at it that way. I was like, wow, look at this guy, like, trying to, like, show off. Like, none of them have shirts on at this point. Like, they're, like, just the last ones finishing, like, talking to the coach.
Interesting.
So Arla is in our major as obviously sports media, and sports media is definitely a
male-dominated.
Male-dominated.
Wouldn't say driven,
not
dominated.
driven. Yeah, dominated field nowadays. So we do. We sometimes
We give her a hard time about it.
To say the least.
But no, we have a lot of respect.
It's
for
all
Arla.
out of respect. It's all out of love.
It's very hard to do what she does. She is the editor of the Ithacan, which is the major newspaper pretty much of Ithaca College. She covers really only sports, but she writes and she edits, which is very hard, and she dedicates a lot of time towards that. So it's pretty
So if
cool.
you could just tell us a little bit about what you do for the Ithacan.
Yeah, so
What you want to do after college.
So my, I guess, official title is assistant sports editor, and we also have a head sports editor who is Emily Adams, who is a sophomore, but she's going to graduate early. But we're both from PA, so it's kind of funny that we actually ended up having so much in common without even knowing it. It's also uncommon that it's a sports section of a paper that's ran basically entirely by girls. Well, literally entirely by girls, since it's just the two of us. But I think what I find so interesting about our paper, and not just the sports section as a whole, is that it's mostly ran by women, which is super uncommon. We have one photo editor who's a male, and then the guy who runs our website is also male, and our advisor, Michael. He's such a cool guy. But it's just a really cool publication to work for. It's highly awarded to definitely one of the best papers in New York State and amongst the best in the country. But yeah, so basically my job is to edit stories that come in from staff writers, come up with topics for the stories. So basically any kind of athletics thing that is happening around the college. And I do still write for it. Not as much as I was, like in last semester when I was just solely a writer, but now I do a lot more reading, and we just had our spring preview come out, which was pretty stressful. So what that is we do a season preview of all the spring sports, like baseball, softball, crew, track and field again. We talk about track and field a lot because it's such like a long sport because it's indoor and outdoor. But yeah, so we pretty much cover anything athletics that has to do with Ithaca College, whether or not it's alumni, or sometimes we'll cover fall athletes in the spring. Right now, our last front was about Will Gladney, who was a senior on the football team, and now he's training for the NFL draft. But yeah, so pretty much anything Ithaca
What are your
sports.
goals for after?
My goals for after? I'm probably gonna end up going to sports journalism, hopefully working for a newspaper or a magazine. I'm not totally sure about that though. I still want to keep my options open, and maybe editing video content for a team, maybe doing broadcast. I definitely don't want to limit myself just to writing, but I'm also a journalism minor, which makes me think.
Are you open to editing for one of those, or do you just specifically want to write?
Journalist.
I don't know yet. I mean, obviously, like, I would start as a journalist, and then if I decide, like, if I was ever offered a position to edit, I probably would take it because I do enjoy it, and I like getting to lead others and being a part of something that's a lot bigger than myself.
Yeah. So all those quick fact about the journalism stuff. So all like the journalism Mondays and a couple of the things in the bucket list.
Arla's a great writer, but I think we could definitely help her.
Okay.
Improve.
Oh, back to that.
How so? Let's hear
it. Well, we could start with, just how you show up to journalism or field production class.
No, it took Arla a little.
I was dressed nice today. What are you talking about?
It took Arla a little while to hop on the wave that we started.
Yeah.
But she did
as great of a writer she is. It did take her a while, but now that she's on board,
now she's on it.
They're liars. They're liars. Don't listen to anything they say.
But it is cool because
is not going to do anything.
Because Arla took part in a couple of things we've accomplished on the bucket list. She was at the Cornell hockey game.
She was at the Cornell hockey game.
She was in the laundry room with us.
She did post in the laundry room with us.
She has watched Miracle with us.
I have.
She has watched Miracle with us.
What was your opinion on Miracle?
I liked it. It was interesting.
Was it as good as we hyped it up?
Well, it was hard to tell because you guys talked the entire time. Like, you literally know the script word by word at this point. So you guys would say the lines before they got to say them.
Well, it's because we know that you'd rather hear it from us.
Oh, definitely. For
So
sure.
we are pretty hard on you, Arla, but can you remember one time where you think we crossed the line or that we were just...
I don't think...
Maybe not cross the line, but it's like
Like where we
I
got
don't
to
know.
you know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Because Arla likes to act all
Also-
tough, but we know we get her sometimes.
Oh, for sure. I have no chill, like, at all whatsoever, especially when it comes to this stuff. But I don't think you two ever specifically crossed the line. But, like, when it's you two and Brendan, sometimes you cross the line. As in, like, we're talking about something serious, and I say something, and I get one word out, and then Brendan talks over me every single time I open my mouth. That's called mansplaining at its finest.
What's it like living in Scranton? Is it really
That's what I was gonna
that
ask.
much of
Yeah.
a
Tell us
farm
about your
town,
hometown.
or is it?
It's okay, so Scranton itself is a city. It's not a farm town, but I live outside of Scranton. Technically, like, I live in Clark Summit, but really, like, I'm further outside of it in Ransom Township. And that is the middle of nowhere, like, hillbilly town. They're, like, you know how, like, you say, like, your neighbors live across the street? My neighbors literally live across the cornfield. Like, there's, like, 4 cornfields across from, like, me and the boulevard, Newton Ransom Boulevard, which is, like, the main road in, like, if you go from Clark Summit to Ransom, you take pretty much one road the entire way there, unless, like, you're turning onto my street. Like, my street's the only turn for, like, 10 miles.
As a kid, what was your preferred way to go to school? Walk, car, tractor, or horse? Just out of curiosity.
None of the above, because it was way too far to walk, but I did take the bus. Except, like, when I got to middle school, my dad was going by the school anyway, so we'd just take the pickup truck, and he'd drop me off at middle school at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Nice. All right. And then another thing we're starting to do with all our guests is answers for all that you listen to them. You listen to them.
I do. I just don't always remember. I have a bad memory, but I do listen to them. You know that. I text you while I'm watching or listening to every single one.
Well, from the start, Bomb and Montauk. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What?
Bomb and Montauk.
goodness.
Come on, Arla.
Bomb and Montauk?
Montauk.
Oh, Long Island, right? Is that what?
Oh,
What?
it's Montauk. Come on, Arla.
Oh, small talk shit.
I'm Arla. I listen to every single podcast you guys made. I text you.
I do.
Listen,
don't always
Arla.
remember. I'm
Look,
sorry.
look.
I tried.
This is
Do you
our
know how many
first
things I
one.
have to remember?
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Be better. All right. There's a
guess.
bomb in Montauk, which is
Oh,
and
bomb in Montauk. I could not understand what you're saying.
Okay,
when you
okay.
leave the car, Aiden's car.
Yes.
What are you
or
doing?
whether
If it's
leave or
you,
take.
Bree,
it's you.
Grace.
It's Bree's car.
Yeah.
All right.
Bree's car.
You and Grace are chilling.
Well, Grace has a car, so it's
Oh,
Grace
I
doesn't
know
have a
that.
car.
You and Jenny.
All right.
Or
Yeah.
you and Cam.
You, Jenny, Cam, and there's a
Okay.
bomb in Montauk. You guys have 2 hours to leave, and Bree's keys are there, and you have no idea where Bree is. What do you?
I wouldn't take it.
You-
I'd go find Bree.
You know she's on campus. You don't have her location. She's not answering. You have 2 hours to just drive up north.
I'd go find her.
See, I respect that. See, I'd have a really tough time driving too.
I would look to an extent, and then I'd have to stop.
Yeah,
I
I'd give
would
it a
probably.
limit.
I would tell Jenny and Cam to go.
I'd
look
split
for
up.
Bree. I mean, I know like Jenny and Cam are also like 2 of the most loyal people I've ever met, so I know for a fact that they wouldn't want to go either. But like, I would obviously.
In a situation like that, I
I would,
honestly slip.
yeah.
I say 30 minutes. We don't find her. We go.
No, I would wait. There's no reason. Like
30
I don't.
minutes.
I
3
don't
people.
want to. I
You
don't
could
want to be in
find
a
her.
world with no Bree. Bree's my best friend.
All right. Second episode. Candy
All right.
versus snacks.
Is a chocolate? First of all, is it a fruit roll up? Is a fruit roll up a candy or a snack?
I would say snack.
What
I've
about-
thought about this after listening to
What
this
about a
one for
chocolate?
Sure. Chocolate? I would say candy. I know you disagree, Tyler. I know. But, like, I don't think candy's just sweet. Because, like, what do you think are M&M's? Are M&M's candy? They're chocolate.
I don't know. I just think that if anyone tells me to go to the store and buy them candy, I would never think to buy them any single type of chocolate.
You wouldn't think any kind of chocolate?
No.
I could see, like, okay, I wouldn't necessarily think just, like, a straight-up, like, Hershey's bar, chocolate bar. But, like,
I
think
might
of, like,
think
Reese's.
M&Ms.
I might think of
That's
Reese's
not like a
or
chocolate,
M&M's. It's chocolate.
mean, it's
It's
peanut
chocolate and
butter.
peanut butter.
It's like just peanut butter, though.
No.
Well,
If it was just peanut butter, it'd come in a jar.
Reese's Pieces.
Those
kind of like just
yeah,
peanut
they're
butter.
just peanut butter. That's why they're not that good.
So then what's the difference between a candy and a snack?
Difference between a candy and a snack? I would say candy is you eat as like a dessert, or like right away you want like something sweet, and then a snack would be like doesn't necessarily. It can be sweet, but it also like more savory. Like when I think of a snack, I think of like pretzels and hummus, or like maybe fruit, but like like if I want fruit,
I think if it
I'm not
fills you up
thinking I
more.
want a snack.
If it fills you up more, it's more of a snack than a candy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because you can't fill up on candies, but
I
you can
would
fill up on
support that.
snacks.
Yeah.
All right, next one. You have one item in a zombie apocalypse. One item only. You could be as creative as you want. What do you bring? What are you taking?
One item. I thought about this and I couldn't think of just one singular thing, but I think if I had to choose, does it have to? Can it be living?
Yes, it can be living.
I would have another person with me.
Of course. What if it can't be living?
What if it can't be living?
That's a good one. I haven't heard anyone say that. Another person.
If it can't be living, I think a
How about
baseball
this? How about
bat.
this? I'm gonna put you on
A baseball bat?
I know.
Oh my
I know.
goodness.
Oh my
But like, if I
god.
could just like
At
swing
least
the
like a
shit out
baseball
of
bat
it.
with like spikes on the side or something.
Yeah, like I'd support that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put you on the spot. Who would the one person be?
I'd say Owen. He's pretty resourceful.
Wow, you would pick someone you met 5 months ago over someone you've known your whole life?
He is the most resourceful person I know. Or my dad.
Dad?
Actually, I was thinking like here on campus, like so like when you ask this question, are you assuming it's happening on campus?
I think we did assume it was on campus.
Yeah,
right?
okay, true.
Okay,
true.
So on campus, Owen. Anywhere else, my dad.
Got you.
Well, the next one is have you ever like
You ever seen the movie The Purge?
I have
No.
not.
Okay,
I'm
well, you know what The
sorry.
Purge is.
I do know.
We
what
did
it
talk
is.
about it. So there's a purge, 24-hour purge on the Ithaca campus.
Mm-hmm.
What's your first move? Where are you going? What are you doing? You taking
Alright,
anywhere?
hide
I
anywhere?
know. Tyler said he'd hide, and like, I think that's a good idea and probably what you should do. I don't know if I would be able to. Like I
sit
think
in
I'd
one
get.
place?
Yeah, I think I'd get like
freaked out?
not freaked out, like just annoyed. Like I'd be like, I would get like, I'd go crazy. I would. Literally
Where would you go?
crazy.
Would you just like walk around, or like just go from like your friend's room to another friend's room to another
Yeah.
friend's room,
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
Even if you had to walk from towers like lower quads, or you don't
Yeah,
have any
because
friends?
then I'd bring my baseball bat, my spiked baseball bat.
Okay, that's respectable.
What you saved from the zombie apocalypse? That's
yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Well, another one was, has a statement or phrase
you
ever
were
just
told as a
stuck with
kid.
you from a kid? Whether it's funny, good, bad,
Something that stuck to you from your childhood.
it's just like you will always
Like, for
remember.
example, mine was, I'm still scared to step on cracks. They cut out of...
Break your mother's back. And it has to be like a saying? Because like
Doesn't
I
have
can
to be
think of a
saying.
song.
It can be anything. Something
Anything. It's
Just like-
has anything just stuck with you? Just that you will always
like a phrase
remember?
that's always in the back of your mind. Like,
Yeah.
you'll always think about it from you when you were little.
This is kind of a fun. It's like it's sort of. I guess it's a phrase, sort of. Meatloaf Monday. So
Meatloaf Monday.
My
This is
nana.
interesting.
My nana would come every Monday. So when I was up until I was in 5th grade, probably my nana would come every Monday. Or no, she like up until 5th grade. My mom only worked on on Mondays for a full day at Lee Electric, which is my family's my grandpa's business. And she would only work on Mondays for a full day. So when I was little, my nana would come and she'd babysit us after school until my mom came back, and she'd make us dinner. And we would call it Meatloaf Monday because it was always either meatloaf or pot roast. And it was like the best day of the week. It was always like such a good home cooked meal. And like my mom's an amazing cook too, but like she cooks like other stuff. Then like she like those aren't her like her forte, I guess. Like this was like my nana's stuff. Like she was so good at making meatloaf and
Really?
pot roast, and we like always looked forward to it. Or there's this other thing that we called funeral supper, which was like stuffing mixed with like chopped up sausage and peppers. Oh my gosh, it's the most amazing thing ever. But I guess Meatloaf Monday just always stuck with me. It's always
Wait.
always
See,
comes
it's
to
so
mind.
weird. I feel like you see meatloaf in all the movies, and it's like, oh, meatloaf. You know, yeah, meatloaf.
I
No,
hate
this is
meatloaf.
so
I've
good.
never had it before. My parents never made
I
me
hate
meatloaf.
meatloaf.
I never tried it.
I don't
See,
like it.
okay,
What
you've
even is
never
it made
had
out of?
Nana's meatloaf then.
What is it made out of?
It's just beef. Like you
Beef.
Really? Like so I know she seasons it with onion soup seasoning, and then you put like ketchup on the top. You put it in the oven, you bake it up, and it's amazing.
Interesting.
It's,
For me,
it tastes like a hamburger, kind of.
I always just thought it was some form of pork. You know. I don't know.
You know, you're eating dinner.
But I had no idea. I never had
Where'd
it.
you get that saying from? Some form of pork.
It's just
I
some
just
form
thought
of
it-
pork.
Wait, seriously? Okay, I have like a story about that too.
Really?
Are you
Go ahead.
Are you lying to me, or have I told you the story before?
No, I actually have no. I don't know what story you're gonna tell.
Okay, so this I totally did not think of this until you just said this. So when I was little, another one of the things my mom used to make a lot was like was pork, like pork tenderloin, and I think I was probably like 5 when I said this. But we were at my Uncle Pete's house, who is my dad's best friend, but like he's like one of those family friends that like you call them like aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
And so we were at my Uncle Pete's house, and we're getting ready to go. We're loading the truck up, and my Uncle Pete goes, Arla, like, what are you eating for dinner tonight? And I was like, I don't know, some form of pork. And like that's just what I said at the age of 5, like no thought about it, like instantly that's what I said, and like that's one of my dad's favorite quotes from me of all time. He says.
Yeah. So we've heard.
That's
So
fine.
we've heard.
All right. Well, obviously you
What
can't
about-
pee with your brother. So,
Wait, one more question though. What about corn? See, one of the things I really liked was I would just get canned corn.
yeah. Oh my.
Sometimes.
I asked my aunt for them for Christmas. Too,
Yeah,
sometimes.
and she would get me,
How do you guys remember this stuff?
and that's what I mean. I don't know. Every
So
Christmas
I-
it made my year.
Should I tell this story now then too?
Well, you kind of have to.
Okay, so I think I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, and my Aunt Judy, who's also my godmother, one of my favorite people ever. She is such an amazing person, definitely one of the most caring people I've ever met. And she always takes care of me on Christmas because I'm basically like her child. She doesn't have any kids. She takes very good care of her dogs, though. Those are like her children. And
The dogs
so,
you used to be scared of for most of your life.
Yes. Well, not her dogs. Her dogs were chill. She always has chill dogs. But I kept asking my mom this year, I was like, what's Aunt Judy getting me for Christmas? Like, you have to tell me. You have to tell me. And, like, I just was at that age. I couldn't stand any surprise. Like, I wanted to know everything. And my mom is like, she's not getting you anything. And I was like, I know that's false. Like, she always gets me stuff. Like, I know what she's getting. Like, you don't lie to me. And my mom was like, all right, she's getting you a can of corn. And then I'd get so mad every time, like, my mom would say that. And I'd be like, no, she's not. Like, don't say that. I know she's not. I know she's not. So she tells my aunt that she's been telling me this. And that together they plan. And they literally wrap a can of corn. And on Christmas morning, my whole family on my mom's side of the family gets together at someone's house. And we eat breakfast together. And then we take turns opening presents. We go, like, youngest cousin to oldest aunt or uncle. And so I'm one of the first to go. I'm, like, the second youngest in my family, of our first cousins at least. And I go to open my presents, and Aunt Judy's like, oh, you have to open this one first. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, what's it going to be? And I open it up, and it's literally a can of corn. And, like, I remember thinking it was sort of funny, but the way my mom tells the story, I apparently had a look on my face like I could cry. Like, I was that upset. And so my Aunt Judy was like, okay, now open the rest of them. That's not your actual gift. Like, I'm sorry.
I could definitely see you be mad over that. That's
well, our last question
All right.
was, what was one thing you wish you knew before coming to college?
I think I wish I would have known coming in that not necessarily that it's harder than high school, but it's a whole new set of challenges, which everyone tells you, but then you kind of come off senior year and you're like, oh, like, I'm kind of on top of the world, like this was such a good year, and college is only going to be better, and I love college. Like, I do think it's better than high school personally, but I think I definitely have struggled a little bit more definitely in sports than I did in high school. But
That's a valid point.
yeah, I think I wish I would have taken time management more seriously, for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. I mean, me and Tyler are big journal guys, but or not journal.
Planner,
not
Yeah.
journal.
I have a planner. I need to work on writing it in more. I store everything in my head. Hence why I have a hard time remembering everything.
That's what I did in high school. But then once I started using the planner, Honestly, Christian said it took him like a month to get used to it, but it took me like 2 days, and I do it
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, I need to start being more serious about that for sure.
All right, well, we picked up this ending question from our media industries class. It's actually a really interesting topic. But
Something you brought up, and we were like, dude, that's a sick idea to talk about.
What happens if we lose all our digital information in the world? What would happen?
All data on no internet, no computers.
You have to,
I think we would all be lost. We have
'Cause you have to go
base
from start.
so much stuff.
You
on
start from
technology
scratch. What do you think
now.
would happen?
like you can't build a car anymore until you go from
There
the
would be no
start.
rule either.
Like you can't build a chair, you can't build anything,
Yeah.
you can't.
I mean, what?
And it's
What
like-
would you do actually?
What would
we'll
I
start with
do?
that.
Yeah.
What do you do, and then we'll do like society. So what would say you woke up and just like your phone's wiped and just like I don't know. I guess you can't use it. Like
It's dead. Everything's dead. Like,
Everything
this is
doesn't work.
Just something you.
and the only way to get it back is if everyone starts from scratch. What would you do?
What would I do? I definitely would have to relearn, again, planning skills, because me and my mom actually always talk about this. I always had an issue when she would text me, like, picking me up in middle school from a friend's house. Like, I wouldn't come out right away, like, come out to the car, because I wouldn't check my phone or anything. But she was saying, like, when she was a kid, like, when you needed a ride, like, you planned ahead of time, like, where you were going to meet, and you were there at that time. Like, there
Yeah.
were no questions asked. And I think we rely a lot, like, we're a lot softer on time now, and we're okay with people being late because of technology, when back in the day, like, that wasn't
That's
a
a
thing at
crazy
all.
concept because that's literally something we learned. It's called mobile parenting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's called time softening. So
Yeah.
what mobile parenting is that parents are able now through technology to keep tabs on their kids 24/7.
Yeah.
And time softening is you literally just said it. It's just texting your friend, "Oh yeah, I just left the house now,"
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like you obviously can't do that. Like
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I feel like if
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happens, everything will just turn like
Yeah.
Everything's
we'll
going
all
Like-
turn
down.
to savages again. You know, like
Well,
there will be no.
No, for real. Like, I seriously agree with that.
There'll be no.
I don't
like,
know if
rule.
it would go to because
I think
about
there's
it.
a lot of people who cannot function in life now. Like, they're
I
they're
agree.
so dependent.
I don't think
on
people
the
would turn to
internet.
savage. I just think that it was like two ways. It would either bring people together or it would turn bad. But I don't think savages. I just think that
Think about it.
It's
Our
gonna take a
cars,
while.
they wouldn't know how to make things like cars.
We wouldn't.
You know,
Well,
we
maybe
wouldn't-
not
but think
necessarily
about it.
how to make cars, but we wouldn't be
But-
able to get around. We are so dependent on
But-
GPSs.
but think about it, though.
Me too. Like,
think about it though. All these people that made them, a lot of them are still alive. So obviously it's going to take longer.
But a lot of the
like,
people that made them base it off things that
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 is
have
true.
been made before.
Yeah.
That's true.
And if they don't have any of that information, do you think they'll be able to, get
Yeah.
all that
now,
information?
when
I
you're
would-
saying technology, though, do you mean digital or like all digital technology
Digital
or
technology.
mechanical
Digital
technology?
technology.
Well, really,
'Cause
everything's
mechanical
stored
would still
online.
be like cars. Would
Everything's
still
stored
work.
online
information
though.
stored online.
In reality,
or on computers.
Yeah.
hard drives.
Yeah.
I would personally, I would definitely be pretty shook. I'm not that. I mean, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just like an average person with directions. I could definitely not use a map.
No, I can't.
I think
use that.
I think I honestly would be able to get. It's gonna be hard at first.
Think about it.
but no
there's gonna
phone.
be no news.
No phone
You're
and
not
stuff.
gonna
And
be
that
able
was
to-
when you guys were saying this. The first thing I thought of was like, how would we run a newspaper this way? Because I know for
Yeah.
the Ithacan, we base pretty much everything. Like, we design the whole paper
Always plugging
online.
the Ithacan.
What can I say? I love my job.
Yeah,
But-
1306sports.com.
Yeah. We're with
All right,
1306.
fair. You're right. You're
I'm
right.
kidding,
You
I'm
are.
kidding,
I
it's
support.
okay.
I support both, but it's two different kinds of things. But we design the whole paper online. Like, we have everyone use Google Drive to share their stories with us, like staff writers and everything like that. So we edit everything online. And the only part that's not online is when we print the pages and paste them onto these templates we have in the office, and then when it actually goes to get printed. But even then, we send a PDF. So it's crazy to think how our whole process would change. I don't even know how that would
Yeah.
Yeah.
go.
Just knowing news and information, it's so
Yeah.
different.
And we have the news 24/7 at our fingertips. People would go crazy now, thinking about it. The way people used to get technology or get their news was just you watched it 5 a.m. or noon or 6 p.m. That's when you got the news. But now we have 24-hour news cycling all the time.
Definitely.
Without any digital information, also, we wouldn't have any idea how to use TVs and all that. You know?
True. Also true.
So it's crazy to think about. But I think eventually we'd recover, and we'd try to base it off the old, like how we do it now.
Yeah.
But then some things would change too and make like crazy changes.
Yeah.
You know, just the way we do things, and I think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. No. Anything else you have to say while you're still on the mic?
Just thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Well, I mean, you know, this is one of our good friends, and we thought she was
a big supporter of it.
Yeah. I mean, we're hard on her a lot, but we respect her.
Yeah.
You know. You can see why she was chosen to do the turning of the tassels in high school graduation.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Where are you getting this information from?
All right, well, thank you so much for listening.
We're going to wrap it up. You can also listen to us,
you can check us on
Spotify, YouTube,
1306sports.com.
Lex Feed the Wolf podcast. Thank you, Arla, for coming on, and peace.
We appreciate it.
Thanks
Peace.
for having me.